Hello everyone and welcome back to another lesson of the Arabic language. This is lesson number 20 and today we're going to talk about two-digit numbers. But before doing that, I'm going to give you a small note about this number that I didn't discuss last time. This is the number 2. Okay, conventionally when it's typed, okay, some phones type it like this, okay. So if you find it on the web, if you find it on a newspaper, this is the number 2. Okay, now there's a bit of confusion when it's handwritten. When it's handwritten, it could be 2, it could be a 3, but normally it's a 3. So if you find this number somewhere handwritten, it's 163. Okay, so this is a 3. It's just a way that people when they write fast, they ignore, this part of the 3 and they write it like that. So, but still, there's a bit of confusion because it might be a 2. So when I was a kid, it was a really big confusion when I read a number like this. I'm always asking my mother, is this a 2 or is this a 3? But then, like with experience, you know that most people actually, when they write it, it's a 3, okay? But when it's typed, it's a 2. So by default, when it's typed, it's a 2. When it's written, it's a problem. And that's why I recommend that you avoid writing number 2 like this. Write it like that. That's it. And don't write number 3 as well like this. Write it normally like that. Okay? Now, we're going to start the lesson about two-digit numbers. And I'm going to just tell you that this lesson will be 2 parts because I tried to fit it into 10 minutes. It didn't work. So first of all, let's discuss how do we read numbers in general in Arabic. This is a very interesting thing because it's a bit tricky. So let's say we have a 4-digit numbers. Okay, so we have first number, second number, third number, and the last number. Okay. And how do we read them? Well, we read Arabic from right to left, but we read numbers from left to right. Okay, this is the first confusion. So don't get confused. Read numbers from left to right. In general, okay, in general we read from left to right. There is an exception. When we come to the last 2 digits, you read it from right to left. So let me elaborate a bit more. We read in this order. If it was a 4-digit, we read this number first, this number second, this number third, sorry, okay, and this number read it at last. So the last number we read actually is the second number from the right. Okay, maybe it's a bit confusing, but stick around, maybe you'll understand how we read them. Okay, so before I go that, let's see what's the numbers from the numbers 20, 30, 40, 90, and so on, till 90, sorry. So the numbers 20, 30, 40, 50, until 90. So let's first write them. Okay. So the number 20 is like so. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Okay, so what are the names of these numbers? Okay, the names are as follow. The first number is 20, or 20, depending on the grammar. It could be 20 or 20. Okay, I'm gonna pronounce it again. 20, 20. So we stop here. 20. Okay, 20. Okay. Now from here on, it's gonna be a bit logical. So let's say, how do you read 30? The way we say it is you read this and then you add in or un to it. So what's this? Actually, you read it in a slightly different manner. You read at ثلاث. Okay, so this is ثلاث. So we say ثلاث and in, so it's ثلاثين or ثلاثون if you add واو نون. ثلاثين or ثلاثون. Okay, another way that I read أربعة was أربع. Okay, so this is what happens here. We say أربع and we say عين. Okay, أربعين أربعين or أربعون. Okay. Okay, I'm not putting the علامات التشكيل, the accents thing. You should just now hear the sounds. You don't really need to write them down. So this is أربعين. I'm gonna just say أربعين. Okay. Anyway, so the next one is خمسة خمسين. Okay. So we say خمس. The last time I read the 5 as like this, خمس. Right? So we say خمسين, which means 50, or خمسون. Okay? خمسين or خمسون. Again, what's this number? It would be ستين. ستين or ستون. This number is سبعة, if you remember. سبعة. It's سبعة, but sometimes you can read it as سبعة. So it's سبعين or سبعون. سبعون. Okay, this number is ثمانين or ثمانون. Okay, and then we have تسعين. Oops. Oh, I'm having a problem writing the scene. تسعون or تسعين. Okay, تسعين or تسعون. Now I'm going to read them again. عشرون ثلاثون أربعون خمسون ستون سبعون ثمانون تسعون or عشرين ثلاثين أربعين خمسين ستين سبعين ثمانين تسعين. Usually when you just say the number alone, if you say like 20, you don't say عشرون. Usually people go with عشرين. Okay, so usually just say عشرين ثلاثين أربعين خمسين ستين سبعين ثمانين تسعين when they're alone. Sometimes when they're combined or in a sentence, sometimes they switch to be ثمانون سبعون تسعون. Okay, so usually if you want to stick to one of these pronunciations, just go with the in one, so عشرين ثلاثين أربعين for now, until you get a bit more advanced and you will know when to say which when. Anyway, so let's go on to how do we read the numbers from 11 to 19, because they are a bit of a special case here. So the numbers that we want to read now are these numbers. 16, 17, 18, and 19. Okay, so how do we read these numbers? We're going to know that in the next part of this video. Stay tuned